Leader of this race, Tetrally, take it away.
Good evening, ladies and gentlefolk. I am Tetrally, and I will be guiding you through this lovely race between Gliitchless and Sparkover. We'll be doing a Legend of Zelda any percent no up and A race. And if both of the racers are ready, we can go ahead and count you down. Everyone ready?
I'm good.
Hello, I'm Sparkover, and I'm also ready.
I'm still Gliitchless, and I'm still good.
I'm still Tetrally, and I'm still commentating the race. So let's go ahead and get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so waiting for the stream delay to catch up. And both of them are going to be picking up their wooden sword before they do anything else. And both of these runners are going to take what we call a 2 first route. There's some runners who go to level 3 first. That's a little bit more of an advanced route, whereas me personally, as well as both of these folks, are going to be going to level 2 first. You see a little bit of a difference in that Sparko is trying for a screen scroll and apparently having a little bit of trouble, so she's going to move on. Gliitchless is taking the more direct hoofing it to level 2 approach. So she might get there a little bit quicker. But as we go, I'll just explain, since this is a very common thing to ask. No up in A refers to a characteristic on the second controller that if you pause and then press the up and A keys simultaneously, you'll be effectively taking a death warp. So that's useful in some other categories to death warp, but we won't be doing that in this category. So now you see both of them are entering in level 2 and are going to be taking care of the ropes or the snakes that will charge at you. You do have to be careful in level 2 because at the end there's going to be a boss we love to affectionately call the Troll Dongo. Technically his name is Dodongo, but you can imagine how much he loves to just cause resets in our runs. You see both of the runners going through and taking care of those Gurias with the boomerang. Gliitchless has a little bit of a lead now because she got a bomb drop from the Gurias. Bombs and other resources can really make or break your run, and because you see Gliitchless make really quick work of the Moldorm room, whereas Spark is going to be taking a little bit longer to sword those down. Bombs can really make a big difference in how fast you can play through it. So right now it looks like Gliitchless is going to be making it to the Troll Dongo a little bit sooner, but in the Legend of Zelda and anything else, this is by no means a done deal until level 9. Oh, Gliitchless getting a great Dodongo pattern. Dodongo was not trolling her at all. Let's see what happens with Sparko. Got a little bit of a meandering pattern, and oh, yikes. Having a little bit of a hard time, Troll Dongo living up to their name. Oh, no. Yeah, I can imagine Sparko is using a lot of language that probably isn't appropriate to say on the stream right now. So she's going to be going back and looking for some more bombs, because unfortunately you need at least 1 bomb, usually 2, to take care of the Dodongo. Meanwhile, over on Gliitchless's screen, she's going to be doing a little bit of money gathering at this point. She's going to be collecting 160 rupees in addition to whatever she collected in level 2. All right, here's take 2 with the Dodongo on Sparko's side. Come on, play nice, play nice. There. Oh no, I thought almost. Come on, Sparko, you got this. All right, and smokes the Dodongo. Unfortunately, she didn't get the bomb drop, and that's going to cause a little bit of a, yes, exactly, oh poop. That's going to cause a little bit of a problem as she gets to level 1, but she might be able to get lucky and get what we call a candy drop, or a lucky bomb drop from one of the blue Octoroks on the way. They're also, between levels 2 and 1, going to be picking up the white sword. This is a sword that damages, or doubles your damage. Unfortunately, the white sword is guarded by a blue Lionel, which has quite a lot of HP. Oh, that's not the way to go, Gliitchless. Yeah, there you go. Slight detour on the path there. But each sword that the Lionel shoots at you deals 2 hearts worth of damage, so you have to be very careful. Gliitchless taking a respawn, careful there. Respawning the screen and stabs past it on the iframes in order to get past the Lionel. Well done on Gliitchless' side. Very nice. Sparka's going to have to be careful. She's down to only 1 heart, although with the next heart container she picks up, she'll have 2. But that puts her on some mean footing with the Lionel there. Luckily, I didn't see exactly where, but she was able to get a bomb drop from probably a blue Oct Dropper and Moblin, so she'll be in a little bit of a better position going into level 1. Let's see. So Gliitchless will soon be entering in level 1, getting the nice little damage boost from the Oct Drop. And you'll notice she enters the level, will probably come immediately right back out, and then enter in a second time. The reason why she does that is because of a glitch that the locked door at the top will actually be will be open for you by the time you get out. So that saves you an entire key. And since some of the keys take quite a bit of time to find, that will definitely help them out on their journey later. You see Sparko doing a couple more screen scrolls to make her way to the white sword. Sparko is definitely the more adventurous of the two when it comes to screen scrolling, not necessarily always getting the scrolls, but I really admire the way she tries for them. And is going to be taking it safe with the Lionel as well, respawning actually a couple times in order to try to get a good pattern. There she goes, gets a good pattern. Meanwhile, Gliitchless is going to make it past, have a little bit of trouble with this block clip, but by clipping through that block, you're able to save killing all the enemies and pushing a block in order to open up the passageway down there. And Gliitchless goes ahead and finds the bow, which will come in handy later in the run. There Sparka goes, getting a couple of good screen scrolls on her way to level 1. So she'll be making up a little bit of time. Usually if you can get the screen scroll right off the bat, you can save about 2 seconds over just hoofing it. So that'll help her make up a little bit of time, although Gliitchless has to be careful. She's down to 1 heart, and that Aquamenus fight can be a lot trickier. Oop, careful with the Wall Masters. There are definitely a lot of obstacles like Wall Masters and other things that can really take your run south very quickly. There she goes, gets the nice Aquamenus kill. And we'll be picking up her second piece of the Triforce there. Alrighty. Meanwhile, Sparkover has enough bombs to make it through level 1. You want to have at least 1 in order to make it through that bomb wall that she just bombed, in order to save about 30 seconds or so from having to take the more meandering route. She will go up and pick her bow very shortly. Meanwhile, Gliitchless is taking, probably going to be buying her blue candle if I had to take a guess, and actually taking a stop to, no, you need to bomb, there you go. A little bit higher, a little bit higher. She's going to be picking up a 30 secret to be on the safe side. With 183 rupees, that's probably a safe bet, because she's going to want to have the equivalent of 150 after buying this blue candle here, in order to have enough with 100 secrets to buy a blue ring. The blue ring is what the primary feature of this route is, where it halves the damage that you take, which makes the run a lot more beginner-friendly and more accessible for folks who aren't the best at combat, and is one that a lot of beginners run take, but also some advanced players who've been running this for much longer also choose to take. there's a trade-off, obviously, between time and money. By the way, all hail on Sparkover's side. She killed the 3 Gurias that dropped the boomerang, which we affectionately know in the community as Lord Banana, and we'll often say, all hail Lord Banana when we see the boomerang come down. So, all hail. Meanwhile, Gliitchless is in level 3, and with 2 bombs, she may be thinking about, nope, not gonna kill those Dark Nuts for bombs. She's gonna need a bomb refill at some point, because you need 2 bombs just to make it through level 3, plus more to use with the boss. And she's going to be taking the key from that room above, intentionally respawning it so that in order to get a more favorable bomb pattern for the Dark Nuts. And, whoa, lucky, she does pick up a bomb drop, having a little bit of trouble getting the Dark Nuts because of the way that you have to bomb, you can't bomb them head on. You have to actually kill them from an angle or the side or the back. But getting through that room, she'll be able to pick up the wrap. All right. Meanwhile, Sparkover is going through the same path in order to get her 30 secret as well as the candle. Both of the runners are absolutely fine when it comes to money. Sparkover's going to be taking a slightly different path, doing a screen scroll, having a little bit of trouble with one of them, but is going to be using the screen scroll in order to basically go across a river, and this river on this screen, in order to be able to go in the back entrance to level 3, as opposed to going over the river and through the woods. So Gliitchless is about to go into her fight with Manhandle. Let's see what type of pattern she gets. I'm going to be over on the right side of the screen. Ooh, gets 3 out of 4 and is able to take a Manhandle out. Unfortunately, doesn't get a bomb drop. I mentioned this before, but bombs and other resources like these play a big part in the game. And that sometimes, even if you come out of a level with a 20-second, even 30-second green split, you still might be behind if you don't have enough bombs for the next level. Resources really do play a lot into Zelda, particularly bombs, and especially in levels 5 and 7, we'll see later. Meanwhile, Gliitchless here is going to be picking up her 100 secret from the Moblin in Forest, and will be going up to get her ring from the shop at the top of the hill. Sparko is going to change from the candle to bombs in order to have a weapon that actually does damage to the dark. Just teasing you, Sparko. She's going to be sorting them down, probably to conserve bombs at this point, but not a bad choice given, and even gets a bomb drop from them. So she's actually doing very well in the bomb department now. Has plenty to go in for the Manhandle fight. Meanwhile, we have Gliitchless picking up the ring. She's going to be headed into level 4, which is not as hard when you have the white sword as on the 3 first, or the world record route, but still enough of a challenge that she's going to need to be careful, conserve, and use her bombs very wisely in order to make it through the level efficiently. Sparko is now going to go in for her fight with Manhandle, hopefully Manhandle and not Troll Handle. She's going to have to be careful with only a heart and a half, but I think she's going to have a better pattern because she's stuck to the more beaten path and gets a nice pattern with Manhandle being in the upper right. Oh, and this is going to be a tight one with not much health left. Oh, and she takes a death. Oh no, that's really rough. Particularly, at this stage in level 3, but Manhandle can be really, really trolly, and this is something where when you watch people do runs, Manhandle is one of the most reset-heavy points in most runs you see, along with Troll Dongo and basically any boss that starts with the troll. So this is what makes running in a live event so hard, where you really do, are at the mercy of RNG, and just small little RNG things can really, throw you off your groove, and things that would Oh, no big deal. We'll just go ahead and reset. Really are costly. Oh no, she's running out of bombs here. That's probably. Oh gosh. This is going to be really rough for Sparko because without bombs, it's very hard to get all 4 or even 2 or 3 of the petals of the manhandla in one spot. Meanwhile, Gliitchless made it through the breakfast room, as we called it, with the pancakes in order to get her ladder. And she's trying a trick where she's actually trying to clip over double the length, double the amount of water that the ladder normally allows for. And finally makes it over, but requires a very precise 1-frame tap at the very right pixel in order to make it work. Having a little bit of trouble, but she picks it up without too much trouble there. Very smart backup route that Sparko is going to be doing, killing those 4 keys in the top route in order to get a bomb drop. So hopefully she'll be able to do that and be able to get the key to make up for it. Meanwhile, Gliitchless is going up against Gliok here. Gliok makes very quick work of him. With a white sword, only requires 9 hits, but 16 with the wooden sword makes Gliok a really formidable opponent when you're taking a harder route through the level. That's when I tried starting to run the harder route. Gliok was definitely the gatekeeper of most of my runs. There Sparko goes. Yay! I'm really happy she was able to get that manhandla, plus get the bomb drop off of the manhandla as well. So she'll be able to now get out of 3 and go into level 4 and buy a ring of her own on the way there. Because if you like a run, you should definitely put a ring on it. Meanwhile, Gliitchless is going to be taking a little bit of a meandering path from level 4 to level 5, stopping with a couple of detours in order to pick up some extra heart containers and also the rupees that she's going to need for to do her mall shopping a little bit later. This is the part of the run where you're usually farming at least the blue Octoroks along the coast in order to get bombs, because as they go into levels 5 and 7, they're going to be really dependent on those bombs, particularly for a room filled with blue dark nuts in level 5, which we'll talk about when we get to it, as well as in level 7, where you absolutely need 5 bombs to go through and 7 really to do it efficiently. Like I said, resource management really is key to having a good Zelda run. So we see Gliitchless picking up extra heart containers. Those will definitely help. I'm not sure whether she's going to pick up a potion or not. Generally, for marathon safety, probably a good idea. If you're listening to my commentary, I would recommend you pick up a potion, wink wink, for marathon safety. But also is able to get a pack of bombs there. She'll ideally want to have a second one before going into level 5, so that she can go in with a full... Oh, interesting. She might have been trying... I don't know if that was intentionally trying to get a force 10 count off of them, but is able to get a lucky one off of the blue Octorok anyway, so that's not a big deal either way. And it's going to be taking a little raft ride and probably picking up a potion right here. Yeah, I see she's hitting left to go in to buy a potion. Good. In the meantime, Sparko is back in level 4. She's going to be going over to dodge all the buyers or the sort of vampire bat things and pick up her ladder in order to make it across. Coming in to level 4 with the full complement of bombs. Oh, and getting 2 different bomb drops off the buyers. Wow, what good luck for her there. Awesome. Because at the rate this is going, it's about time she got some good luck in this run, really. And it's going to be taking care of the pancakes, the jellies, the eggs, and then the pieces of toast in the middle in order to get that ladder, which is why we call that guarding the ladder of the breakfast room. Meanwhile, Gliitchless is screen scrolling into level 5, as we see. Level 5 we sometimes call Fort Gibdo, named after the mummies that you see on her screen. But the real key thing about level 5 is what we call in the community the room of requirement, where you absolutely do need to fill 6 blue dark nuts, each of which takes either 4 white sword hits or 2 bombs. And that's where a lot of runs are, it's sort of a make or break point for a lot of Zelda 1 runs. So let's see how well she does with that room of requirement. Meanwhile, Gliitchless was able to get a, having a little bit of trouble getting them to bunch up together for the bombs. Is able to get some hits, but she might need to sword. Ooh, that's a nice one. Gets even a heart drop from blue dark nuts. Making pretty quick work using swords, actually. I'm really impressed. And the problem with dark nuts is that you can't hit them head on, so being able to actually fight them efficiently is much more difficult than it might seem for someone who is
awesome.
not familiar with this run. Meanwhile, Sparkover made fairly quick work of Gliok and is going to be picking up her 4th Triforce piece as Gliitchless picks up the recorder. That's correct, Toaster. They sometimes do get error keys on the route, other times not. It really depends on what the runner's preference is as far as which keys you want to get and which keys you don't. There's a lot of different ways you can route that, depending on how you are with 10 counts and stuff. Nice swiping of the bombs by Gliitchless. She's going to be up to 6, which is still not quite where she wants to be for level 7, where you really want to have 7 bombs, but still has time to make up for it, and also is fairly close to being able to afford to buy bombs if she so chooses. Let's see. And it's going to be going through the back half of level 5. Not stopping to kill the Zols, that's a nice choice for time here. Meanwhile, Sparkover's taking her nice long walk on the beach to pick up hearts on her way to level 5, because, I mean, who really doesn't like long walks on the beach anyway? Now, Gliitchless is about to go up against Digdogger. Digdogger is the enemy that doesn't like sound. So what you'll often see them do is place a bomb, immediately blow the recorder, which will cause Digdogger to break up into a number of pieces. So you'll see her place the... Oh, actually, she's just going to blow the recorder there. Oh, that works too. And probably doing that to third bombs. Very adventurous, but needs quick work, and is going to be picking up that 5th Tringle right there. I'm impressed. That's a pretty risky play to do it without bombs, but with 4 stabs, if you're able to do it quickly and carefully, that did great. Oh, I'm seeing in chat she did drop 1 bomb. I must have missed that as I was looking back and forth between the screens. Okay, so Gliitchless is going to go back, work to level 3, and is going to be doing her shopping at what I like to call the Westlake Mall. Why the Westlake Mall? Because it's 2 stores that are on the west side of the lake in the middle of the screen. She's going to be picking up both her arrows to match the bow that she got in level 1, as well as some meat and in order to give some food to a very hungry Gorilla in level 7. Warping to level 3 is a little bit more time-consuming because it requires going through more screens. However, if you go through level 4 instead, you'll need an extra scroll. So for folks who aren't as familiar with scrolls, level 3 is usually the safer and quicker bet. But knowing how Sparko tends to be more adventurous with screen scrolls, we may see her trying to save a little bit of time by working to 4 instead of level 3 to do her shopping. Alright, so Sparko is on her way to the Room of Requirement, right as Gliitchless is entering level 7. Now, she's entering level 7 with only 5 bombs, which is the absolute bare minimum you need to make it through the level. Meat strats, nice. This is a strat that involves laying down the meat as sort of a bait for the the Gurias so that she can lure them in near where she needs to place the bomb anyway, so that she can kill them all and be able to get that extra bomb drop. So that's a really great way, a little bit more time consuming, but great way, and it also just looks really cool to use the meat for something other than its intended purpose, which we'll see in a sec. Meanwhile, Sparko is finishing off the last dark notes of the Room of Requirement and will be picking up the report itself. I didn't quite see how many bomb hits she got, but fortunately she has a little bit of a chance to catch up in the back half of level 5 if she's able to quickly take care of all of the Gyptos in the entry room with the moat. Meanwhile, Gliitchless just put down the meat and fed the meat to the hungry Guria, and is going to be going through the back half of level 7. The tricky part about this level isn't so much killing enemies, but rather not getting boomerang and nickel to dime to death out of all of the boomerang hits. But Gliitchless still has full health, so is really weathering the storm well, going through taking very minimal damage. Now this is Dig Dogger Part 2, or the second one, which is going to split into actually 3 different smaller Dig Doggers instead of just one, like the one in level 5, and uses 2 bombs and is able to take care of that really quickly. And now Gliitchless is going to be going into arguably one of the more dangerous rooms in the game with the Wall Masters. Gets a clock. Oh no! She got Wall Mastered. Oh no! Oh gosh, that's horrible with the bubble poop and trying to avoid the clock. You don't want to get that clock because then you have to respawn, go exit and re-enter the room. But oh gosh, that's so heartbreaking, particularly after the match I had with Sparkover where that was her fate as well. So this will definitely be a big chance for Sparkover to catch up, at least make some of her time back against Gliitchless, although it really sucks to be having to take that walk of shame back from the start of level 7 and make your way all through the level again and getting boomeranged. And yeah, those Gurias, they don't care that you're taking a walk of shame. They'll just keep throwing those boomerangs at you regardless. Alright, so we see Sparko, is she going to work to level 3? No, she is working to level 4, which will also let her pick up a little bit of time here. And at least Gliitchless doesn't have to refight those Dig Doggers. But let's see how well Room with the Wall Masters number 2 goes. She's going to be very careful to avoid the bubbles this time, and is able to sort of take it very slowly, but is able to get all 5 of them. And now at this point, she doesn't have to worry about bubbles. She can just push that block and make it to the last part of the level right before the Archimedes fight. And Gliitchless is buying her meat and arrows from the mall there. Not sure exactly what she's looking for from the levers, but yeah. So, but basically with Archimedes, 3 stabs and Archimedes is gone. So that's actually a really good point from John Taven in chat. One of the things I haven't talked about yet is the way that the enemy spawn patterns always stay consistent as long as you take the same path through the level. Whereas if you go slightly out of the way or go take a detour, that can cause you to have different spawn patterns going in. So we'll have to see what those are like. Meanwhile, Gliitchless is doing a little bit of farming. Looks like she was able to get 1 bomb drop from those moblins, and is going to be doing a screen scroll in order to skip the Lost Woods. Didn't quite get the screen scroll there, but is going to be trying it again. Hope she has better luck on it this time. It requires a very precise positioning in order to be exactly 5 pixels from the edge of the screen. And that's something where it's really tricky in order to, unless you actually have it pixel perfect, you won't be able to get that screen. And in order to, if she wasn't doing this trick, it would be a very slow scroll through the dead woods. Meanwhile, Sparko is definitely picking up, making up for some lost time going through level 7 as Gliitchless keeps struggling with, oh, poor Gliitchless. This must be very frustrating. At some point, she's probably just going to give up and go the long way through the woods, which is probably a smart move at this point in a marathon setting. There's a particular pattern that you have to go northwest, southwest in order to make it through as a little bit of a puzzle. Unfortunately, not getting the Lost Wood skip, but with all of the extra heart containers she picked up, she's going to be able to get the Magical Sword. Magical Sword does twice the damage of the White Sword that she has currently, and that will make the enemy she's about to face in level 6 much, much easier to fight. Because even without even with the sword, they are quite formidable opponents. All right. Meanwhile, Sparko is in the back half of level 7 of getting a lucky bomb drop from the red Marias there. So this is definitely a moment. Having an ability to go through level 7 with full bombs definitely helps. Ooh, it looks like we're getting raided by Happy Squid 89. Thank you very much for the raid, Happy Squid. Yay! So Gliitchless now is going through the Belfry room. We call that because of all the bats there. And she's about to start fighting one of what we call the magical breakfast rooms, because not only are there the jellies and pancakes, we now have Wizrobes, those sort of magician in robes like enemies there. For those of you who follow Skybills, she has an emote. Here, I'll put it in chat. Because those Wizrobes are very rude. They do a lot of damage very quickly, and there's a reason why we call that the rude emote, because boy are those Wizrobes something. But Gliitchless getting through is going to take care of these Vires here. Ooh, even gets a lucky bomb drop. Very nice. Exactly. And now going into Magical Breakfast room number 2, getting another bomb. Oh my gosh, this is an embarrassment of bombs that Gliitchless is getting. Cutting through those Wizrobes really quickly, although getting bubbled definitely doesn't help. But getting through the last pancake, wow, that's a pretty darn quick level 6 if I might say so myself. But Sparko is getting on her tail. Able to get the screen scroll on the very first try. So that's going to help her make up a big chunk of time. Although there's still most of the ways, most of level 6 apart from each other. Probably about a 2-minute lead or so if I had to take a guess. But now that Sparko, just almost getting the Goma, or the spider boss at the end, Gliitchless is going to pick up the level 6 Triforce. And now she's going to be warping back east to level 8 as Sparko is going to go into level 6. So we'll have to see how Sparko does with level 6. It's definitely one of the ones where you can get a lot of health very quickly, even with the blue ring that halves the damage that you take. Getting lucky with bombs from the red Wizrobes in the beginning, though, that, like I said, bombs really can make or break your run, so it's good that she's able to keep picking those up. See if the luck holds later. And we see Gliitchless is going to be going into level 8 here and facing what we call the blue lagoons, because there are going to be even more of those blue dark nuts from the Room of Requirement. But now with a bunch of turrets shooting at you, which definitely adds to the difficulty where you have to dodge the dark nuts and those beams at the same time. Speaking of beams, she's able to keep her beam sword almost, wow, and Harry's help, still having her beam sword into the second blue lagoon, which is really fabulous. She's been really making quick work of these. Well, there goes the beam swords, but this looks to be a very good, well, I don't want a commentator's cursor, but this looks to be a very good level 8 so far. Meanwhile, Sparkover taking Magical Breakfast 2 on. Ooh, very nice, getting the Pancake and Red Wizrobe in one shot. Wow, both of these, you know, even with the rough, some of the rough edges on the run, this is turning into a very quick run by both of them, especially with the back half of the levels here. Now we have double the pleasure, double the fun with 4 heads instead of 2 on the Gliok. But with the magical sword, Gliitchless just slices through it like butter, picks up an extra heart container for good measure, and she is now eligible to go into level 9. And I believe she hasn't used a potion yet so far, so she's going to be going into level 9 with a full red potion. Yes, with the full red potion. So we'll have to see how this this goes. Level 9 can definitely be a make or break point for your run as well. But if she keeps up the good work, this may be a really good run. I don't actually see a timer on their individual streams, but we'll see what the time is like later. I would guess that they're probably on at least a 40-minute pace. But yeah, so we're going to be going through, and as Gliitchless is entering level 9, we're going to be Sparko is going to be entering level 8. And we'll see how Sparko does with the Lagoon here. Both of them have 3 keys entering their respective level, which means they're not going to need any extra keys, and they have, at least as far as keys go, everything that they need to beat the game. Now, you do have to be careful with bomb management in level 9 as well, but as we get through, they're going to be coming across a new enemy, the Patra. These are the little floating eyeballs that you get in a sec. And whether or not you actually try to skip them using techniques to minimize or avoid damage, or to actually stop and fight them, is going to be something that can play into how long a run takes. So it'll be interesting to see whether Gliitchless goes for the Patra skips or not. Ooh, getting almost a clean split, only a 1 bomb Patra from Patra on there. So that was actually a pretty good skip, all things considered. Not perfect, but still has plenty of health to work with here. I say as she gets beamed by a blue Wizrobe, but is able to still get through and is sort of tank moding them a little bit. And speaking of tank mode, I'm guessing that's probably going to be what Sparko does with this Gliok as well, although she has to be careful down to only a heart and a half. Ooh, is able to get it with 1 heart remaining. Phew. And by the way, it's not fun having to redo level 8 again. That's probably, next to getting wall mastered, one of the worst things that can happen to you, because you have to fight all those blue dark nuts all over again. Gliitchless is fighting Patra 2 as a bit skipping. Although I really, unfortunately, because Gliitchless didn't get the center eyeball, she's going to have to face Patra 2 again, probably coming back, I believe. So we're going to be going through, and then she's going to be doing this reverse sea room here. Ooh, getting bubbled. Unfortunately, Gliitchless is going to be in big trouble because of bombs. She should probably take her... okay, so the good news about what Gliitchless did is that she has a potion. She can refill all of her health. What is going to be a lot harder for her to refill is her bombs, because Sparko is going to be going into level 9 and with 6 bombs, which is all that she needs in order to beat the game. However, unless Gliitchless is going to get lucky and get a lucky bomb draw off of some of the red Wizrobes, she's going to be in trouble, because she's not going to be able to make her way to Ganon, the final boss. So hopefully the RNG of the game will cooperate, and she will get a lucky bomb drop from one of these red Wizrobes. Ooh, not having luck with those, but did get the nice block flip really quickly to avoid those blue Wizrobe beams. So we'll have to see how well that works out for Gliitchless. Meanwhile, Sparko is going to be fighting her Patra 1 herself. It'll be interesting to see whether she skips this or not. She's going to stop and fight, it looks like. Probably for the bombs, even though it takes a little bit longer to fight the Patra. You do get a bomb drop that way. Ooh, Glitch is still not getting a bomb drop. See, the problem is that she needs to be bombing to the left here. But unfortunately, because she doesn't have her bomb, she's going to get... Oh, yeah. No, shoot. She's going too far. Oh, we'll see if she gets the bomb drop from... Oh, no, Gliitchless. You might be stuck in that... Oh, she does have it. Oh, gosh. This reminds me of a Zelda 1 any % tournament race that I did where I ran out of bombs in a very similar spot. Oh gosh, this really sucks. So this could potentially be Sparko's big break to catch up. Yeah, Glitches, you probably don't know. If you get stuck, why don't you just up an A out? Yeah, you're going to want to up an A in order to get out, I think. Even though this is technically a no up and A cat. Oh, that's works too. Yes. Meanwhile, Sparko is going to be taking out Patra 2 and going into... Well, King Doll, we're not going to play by those rules. Let them, you know, just... They're going to just race this for fun, I think, at this point. We did have a any % tournament where we had special rules regarding revisiting your steps, but since this is just a friendly race between two awesome folks, I don't think anybody's going to take their birthdays away if they don't go back to the same exact route. Meanwhile, Sparko having a great reverse Seabrim, she's going to be picking up her silver arrows. And this is going to be an interesting race. I think Sparko might actually be able to overtake the lead now because it's going to take a little bit longer for Gliitchless to catch up, and she still needs to find some bombs. She can probably kill Patra 1 for the bombs. At least that's what I would be doing if I was her. Sparko, unfortunately, having a little bit of trouble getting through that diamond staircase in order to get back. Oh no, taking a death from Patra on Gliitchless. Oh shoot. Oh, that's a really tough way to go out. Oy. Yeah, Patra 1 indeed is a jerk. No doubt about it. Meanwhile, Sparko still has both of her potions, so she's going to wisely, I think, use one of them, and is doing great with regards to her bomb. She has 2 more bombs to spare for combat, as she, now having bombs in this, will be bombing to the left in order to continue along the path to Ganon. Oh, and that's just rubbing it in game, giving her an extra bomb drop that she didn't even need. Wow. So, all right, let's all give Gliitchless some support as she tries to take care of Patra 1. She desperately needs the bombs, and hopefully won't get damaged. Yeah, there she goes. Gets the kill on Patra 1, and we'll be going back into the next room and making her way through the rest of the level. This time with enough bombs, and I'm sure she will be using her bombs, conserving them very well this time. Looks like Sparko's down at Patra 3 and is in a really good health situation. We'll be taking out each of those little eyeballs. And after this, we'll be going in, and as my colleague Laws Cards Fan 23 would say, here's Ganon. She's going to need 4 hits on this Ganon that's invisible in order to take care of it. And that's 1, getting a good pattern, 2 in the middle. And can we find 3 and 4? We got 3, no stun lock, but let's see if she can get the 4th. There we go. GG for Sparkover. She's going to take the pig down, make some bacon, and rescue the princess with the swag arrow. Well done, well done. Get out your GGs and chat for Sparkover. making a really amazing come-from-behind victory in this race, which, considering all of the trials she went through here, the Troll Dongo in level 2, running out of bombs in level 3, and the Troll Handler, she was really able to just consistently get through and make up in the second half of the game what luck she didn't have in the first half. So, yeah, I can imagine that would be very mentally taxing Sparkover. But we had fun in quotation marks. Well, for some definition of fun, and this is all in good fun for for a really great cause. So there we go. And now Gliitchless gets the bomb. So let's cheer Gliitchless on. Like I said before, your resource management really make or break your run. And unfortunately, even though she had a little bit of a resource management issue with bombs at level 9, she's picked herself right back up and is going to be taking out Patrick 3 and will be going and making some bacon for her own very shortly. Alright, and there's Patrick 3 down. And once again, here's Ganon. So she's going to take out her silver arrows, and it needs 4 stabs on Ganon as well. Let's see what type of pattern she gets. Oh, she's going to take the safety route and just hang out in the lower left-hand corner, getting a perfect stun lock. Wow, look at that stun lock. Be able to just get all 4 hits one after another, and we'll be finishing it up. GG to Gliitchless as well. Well done, well done. Yes. Thanks, Gliitchless. You really are the hero of Hyrule. Gliitchless. You really are the hero of Hyrule. So, thank you very much to both of our runners for putting on a really great show. And thanks to High Spirits and RPGchick and everyone else who helped organize this marathon. This was a really great run, and it's really great that we were able to present this for you tonight. So, GG's to both runners.
GG, thank you very much. Tetrally, Gliitchless, and Sparkover for that race. But coming up next is more